Hello everyone, how's it going? Bill here, STL Puckhead, back with another video. Today's video is going to be a weekly recap. As you can tell from my thumbnail, I was honored to be a part of the basement collection between Blue Jacket 66 and Baseball Collector, Dave and Mike. Chris told me, I don't know, a couple weeks ago that this thing might happen, and I volunteered to help if they need any help. He told me it was a massive collection, and I was happy to go and help. So I got to hang out a couple days with Chris from Missouri, Blue Jacket 66, Baseball Collector, and Triple Crown 24, JT. I haven't mentioned him yet. And we had a great time. Obviously, you've probably watched Dave and Mike's videos and JT's on this collection, and you know how big it was, right? So it took us kind of 2 days to organize and load everything. And I picked up some cards that I bought from Mike from this collection that I'm going to show you here in a little bit. So it was just awesome for me to get to hang out with those guys. I hope that I'm accurately expressing how much I enjoyed it, because again, YouTube videos and talking into my camera are hard for me to do. But really, it was a great time. Not only were the cards awesome, Dave could not have been a nicer guy to allow us into his grandfather's house or his dad's house and go traipsing up and down the stairs and digging through boxes in the basement. It was probably a substantial intrusion, but he couldn't have been more gracious. And then Mike was a great guy. Had a lot of fun with JT. I call him J Tizzle. Hope he's doesn't take too much offense to that. So the card collection and the house itself was great. But after that, we went and ate barbecue, and Dave picked out a great barbecue place that had amazing ribs. We had a great time just talking cards and sports and YouTube over dinner. Chris's buddy and my buddy now, I hope I can call him a friend, Brent Cooper, was there, and he's a great dude. He helped us pack everything up and go through everything on Sunday, but he couldn't stay Sunday night. So after we went to dinner, we went back to the hotel room, and the best part of this whole trip was just hanging out with those guys in the hotel room, just talking about YouTube, talking about sports, talking about cards, and talking about life. So the next day, the second day, we went back over there and packed everything up, and then sent JT on his way in the U-Haul trailer. And I commented on JT's video. It looks like our packing job held up pretty well. I hope that is the case. But I had an awesome time, and it was so much fun hanging out with those guys. And I have watched their channels on YouTube since I started watching YouTube. So I look up to those guys a lot within the YouTube community, and their collections are amazing, and they have more knowledge about baseball cards, and especially vintage and pre-war cards. They have forgotten more than I know. So for me, it was just a great time. I'm so happy I got to be a part of that. Thank you, Chris, for asking me to come, and thanks Mike and Dave for letting me. I had a great time. You're great guys. I enjoyed hanging out with them. So I'm going to show you my chunk, what I ended up bringing home from the baseball collection. So I've gone full ham this month. So I've gone way over my budget. My budget is blown way out of the water. So I'm going to take a couple months to pay myself back for all the money that I've spent in this month. It's insane. But I'm happy to have these cards. They're amazing. Mike gave me great deals on these cards. He told me it was because I had sweat equity. And I told Mike if you can't be smart, you may as well be strong, right? And I don't know if I'm really strong, but I know I'm really hard-headed and maybe definitely not real smart. So I ended up doing most of the mule and the stuff up and down the stairs the second day. But I would have done it for weeks straight, and it would have taken weeks to go through this entire collection because there was just so much to it and so many things that I had never seen before. It was awesome. So I just love that stuff. Like I've said in previous videos, you combine sports with history, and I'm a pig in slop at that point. Like that's where I want to be. That's my happy place. So some of the stuff I picked up this or out of the basement collection, I'm going to talk about just the highlights right now, and then I'm going to show you some of it. I picked up, I have, my man cave is a mess right now. I've got cards all over the place. I picked up a 90 score set, another one, so I could hopefully get a Bo Jackson that will grade, as a 9. Here it is right now. This came out of the set. It looks pretty sharp. Coop picked this up and handed it to me. So I bought that, and again, I got a really good deal. Mike's a great guy. And not because he gave me a great deal on these cards either, just because he is. So I got a 90 top score set. I got an 84 top set. I got an 83 top set. I got a 79 top set with no Ozzie Smith, but I have the Ozzie back here, so that's not a big deal. I got an 83 Donruss set, an 83 Fleer set, 81 tops, 82 tops with no Ripken, but that's okay because I just got one back from SGC in an 8.5. I got an 86 tops, an 82 Donruss, an 85 Fleer, and an 84 Fleer. So my first collection I started with when I was a kid, I started in probably 82 or 83, but the first year I remember open packs for a fact was 84. And I collected from 84 to 86. Well, when I was younger, my mom and dad got divorced. Long story, not going to go into the details. We moved from a house. Well, when we moved out of that house, my baseball card collection was there. Now, let's not pretend this is a museum quality collection, okay? I was a little kid. I didn't think about condition. I practiced autographs on the front of cards. I put them in bicycle spokes. So these weren't the most amazing condition cards, but the cards were mostly from the years of these sets that I got from Mike Moynihan. So a lot of this is my childhood here. They're my childhood from cards I had that I lost, that I was never really able to get back at this point. Not that they're really expensive, but I just never got to it because there's so many cards that I want. And then some of them are just rookie cards of, the great players, Hall of Famers from the 80s. So that's why I picked up those cards, and again, Mike gave me a great deal on them. I've gone through all the sets already and pulled out the stars and Hall of Famers. I've got huge stacks. But I want to grade some of those cards, and some of them are worth grading. Like a lot of these cards are in amazing condition, have probably set there on the shelves they were on, and probably not been touched since the 80s and 90s. Some of these looked like they were packed fresh. Even the 79 top set looks like it was probably put together in the 80s or early 90s at some point. Like great conditioned cards, and I couldn't be more happy with them. So thank you, Mike. And it's not about the condition and the grading, but it's about the cards. And those are just cards that I've always wanted, and now I have them almost. I have almost every complete set of the 80s, and I'm not even a set builder anymore, but maybe I'm addicted to sets. Maybe I'm a set addict. I don't know, but I just can't help myself. Whenever I see cool sets, I have to buy them. So I've flapped my gums for about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this, flip it around, and then I'll start showing you some of the stuff that I picked up from Mike, and that I'm so happy to have as part of this basement collection that Mike and Dave are calling it. So hold with me, and I'll be back for the second half. All right, so now I'm going to show you stuff, and I forgot to mention earlier, I decided I'm going to buy that collection from Dan. He goes by Yaz Fan on YouTube. He probably subscribes, if you're a YouTuber watching this, he probably subscribes to your channel and comments on it quite a bit. Him and I have developed a relationship here lately. He's a great dude. So he sent me this as a gift recently, and I can't thank him enough. This is Ken Griffey Jr. on the back. Sorry, I'm doing a world-class camera job right now. But this is an awesome book. It's got all the superstars from 1999 is when this book was published are in it. It's got amazing photos and then write-ups about each individual player, and that's awesome. So thank you, Dan. So yeah, the cards that I'm buying from Dan, partial set of 71, well, 2 partial sets of 72 tops, a partial set, or I can talk. 2 partial sets of 71 tops, a partial set of 72s, and a partial set of 73s. So I'm going to go through those and show you those as I go through. And then also as I start going through these sets, like I said, I've already got everything pulled out, but as I start top loading them and sorting everything, I'll go through the highlights with you of that set. So this Mike gave me, McDonald's Upper Deck Cardinals set. I remember getting these back when I was in high school. Not a whole lot of value there, but it was super cool of Mike to give me these to me. Kind of the stuff that we love and the stuff that we collect is the stuff that hits us in the nostalgia feels, right? So that's definitely what that does for me. And then this Mike gave to me as a joke that Chris put him up to, and I think I may have sworn at Chris and been pretty sarcastic because we lost this World Series to the Royals, and this is like Chris's favorite World Series of all time, and he gives me a hard time every time we talk about it. So this was a joke on Chris's part, but I'm happy to have this, and it will find a place in my man cave for sure. And then this is not a super high dollar card, but I love Ken Griffey Jr., as you all know, and I couldn't remember if I had this currently, so that's another pickup for Mike. And then here we have a 70 top super of Joe Torre. Super cool card. I had never seen those before that I am aware of. They're super thick. It's almost like a coaster. So this is a temporary setup I have this in right now, but I will move it into something more permanent here pretty soon. And then this is awesome. I'm super stoked about this. 64 Topps Giants, Bob Gibson. This is in amazing condition, and I love Bob Gibson. I'm going to get this graded, and I'm going to put it up on one of my shelves for display. This is going to be one of my most prominent display memory type of items from this experience hanging out with those guys. And then this Mike gave me, and then this is one of the most awesome things I've ever seen. So you guys all probably remember at gas stations you can get like a pocket schedule, and I'm assuming that this is a 1948 version of that, and this is amazing. So I'm definitely going to get this framed and display it. There's just so much awesomeness in here. All the Cardinals roster from 1948, their schedule, admission prices to Sportsman's Park. This walking into this basement was like a baseball time capsule. It was so awesome, just amazing. And then here I have a stack of you remember the price guide cards? They came out in the 90s. So there's one of the Michael Jordan. That's a pretty big card if you can grade it as a 10, but I'm probably just going to keep it in the panel like this and find a place to display it. And I have a few more of those. I grabbed all the ones with Ken Griffey Jr. because I had a lot of them as a kid, and then now a lot of them are just beat up. So these are just panels that Dave's dad pulled out of the magazines and put away. So I'm happy to add all this stuff to my collection. It means a lot to me that it came from Dave and Mike, and then an extension of Dave through his dad. So, you know, his collection in the basement, you know, it spans almost 100 years at this point. He's got stuff from the 30s, well over 100 years, because of that Hannes Wagner that they found. So, or I mean, Rogers Hornsby they found. So it's over 100 years worth of sports cards and sports memorabilia and stuff in this basement. So it's amazing that some of it was able to find its way into my hands and end up in my house, in my collection, in my man cave. So again, thank you guys. But yeah, I always love these out of magazines. And then here are the 1980 Topps Super, or Topps Giant Photos, I think it is what they were called, from 1980. So I grabbed a Yastrzemski, and then a Keith Hernandez, and I'll probably frame these and display them, and a Ted Simmons. So I just thought they were awesome. There's so much awesomeness in this basement, I can't even explain. And if you saw Mike's video, like, I wasn't even joking when I said if I had time to go through all that stuff and pick out what I wanted for my collection, it would have taken me weeks. Like, that's no joke. So here's a substantial stack of 1960 commons for my top set. There's probably 150, maybe even more cards here. So I'm hoping that fills out a big chunk of the rest of the commons that I need for that set. I got a 1986 Sports Flicks. Sorry, I bumped my tripod on my camera. Sports Flicks rookies. These are awesome. These have Bo Jackson, Barry Bonds, you know, all the big rookies from that era. They're super cool. Here I got a King Griffey Jr. This is just kind of like an advertisement memorabilia for a price guide, or memorabilia price guide. I'm running out of room. I can barely even show this. So I thought that was awesome and had to have that. I didn't have that one. I don't think I've ever seen it before, so that will go with my King Griffey Jr. magazine collection. And then, as you all know, I have a little bit of a problem with 87 Topps. So I saw we saw a case of these. And so I ended up grabbing 2 boxes. These are straight out of the case. Like, these boxes are clean. These will be the 5th boxes of these that I have opened here in the last few years. And then I grabbed every 87 Topps and every 86 Topps rack pack that I could find. So I'm super excited to go through these. I'm amazed. I'm amazed with all the awesomeness that I got to take home with me. Again, thank you, Mike and Dave, for letting me be a part of it. Sorry this video is so long, but there's so much awesomeness for me to talk about from this collection. Sorry, I'm trying to move my camera back without doing it super awkwardly, which it appears though I didn't accomplish that at all. But yeah, just so much awesomeness from this collection. But again, the best part of it for me was just being able to hang out with those guys. Because again, for me, we're all here because we love sports and we love cards. I'm about to get choked up. We're here because we love sports and we love cards, right? But it's the relationships that we're able to build through that means so much to me, that I'm so grateful for. At the end of the day, I love this stuff, but really it's just cardboard. You know what I mean? But the relationships that you make and the memories you build through this cardboard is what, to me, makes the hobby so special. So I hope you all stuck around. Thank you for watching. Oh, and one last admin note before I shut everything off. I'm thinking about changing the name for my channel. I love STL Puckhead, but And I love hockey, but I don't do a lot of hockey on this channel. My primary focus as a collector is baseball, and that is my primary love sports wise. So I'm thinking about changing my name to something more baseball centric, something more reflective of what this channel is. But I haven't made a decision on anything yet. I just wanted to throw that out there. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. But I'm going to go ahead and quit running my mouth. And I've got a whole lot of cars to go through over the next couple weeks or months. So I hope you stick with the channel. And until the next one, I hope everybody has a good one. And I'll talk to you later.